Let in a little joy,
Let in a little joy.
let in a little moonlight. You know, every little day, every little thing's gonna be alright. On Halloween night was the best that could happen. Clear the room for dancing, let in a little joy, let in a little fright. On our Halloween, Samhain night. Happy All Hallows Eve,
You
Halloween.
look beautiful. It's my only bad pun. I promise I won't do any more.
Oh my gosh, thank you for being with us tonight. We hope that you have your costumes on and that you're posting them down below. We want to see pictures of everyone. And hopefully you could join us afterwards for the Halloween Zoom costume after party.
Extravaganza. This is our 80th episode of Sundays with Bliss. And so we're having a little after party. If you don't know anything about it, post down in the comments and we'll get you a link after the show. But
yeah, you can send a little message to Troubadours of Divine Bliss at gmail.com. Troubadours of Divine Bliss at gmail.com. And then we can send you an invite to the Zoom after party. Oh, beautiful ones. Oh, Hallows Eve. And, Halloween originated from a Celtic tradition, I believe it from the Druid tradition. And in Gaelic, it came from the term, I'm going to say this right, Samhain. And now it's spelled Samhain, but it's pronounced Samhain. And I'm going to read a little blessing for us for this evening. Let's see if I can keep my headdress on while I do it. And I'm a fairy queen, in case you're wondering.
yes, you are.
Thank you.
I don't know what I am.
I do. You're hilarious. Oh, and here's
Oh, and
Bliss.
Bliss wanted to show up.
Yeah, he has the cutest
He said,
costume.
Bliss, say trick or treat. Trick or treat.
And so a blessing for this year. So Samhain and All Hallows Eve has many traditions, but essentially it's like a New Year's celebration because Samhain means summer's end. And so we're ending summer, beginning fall and winter, the dark period of the year. And so that's why they say the veil is thinnest, and it's a time to honor our ancestors, it's a time to honor the harvest, it's a time to recognize the decreasing of the light and embracing the darkness and all that has to teach us. And so we send this blessing out to all of us. Another year's upon us as the wheel has turned again. We invite the ancestors one by one to join us at our meal. We raise our cups in honor and share memories with zeal. And know deep in our hearts the past must be cleansed away for the future to start. The veil is at its thinnest when we walk between the worlds. Diviners bring their instruments and mysteries become unfurled. And now the witching hour is upon us once again. We share a blessed circle with our loved ones and our friends. Blessed be to guardians, to deities, and more still. Blessed be to you. Let the harvest your heart fill. So mote it be. So may it be. And so we call in our ancestors this night. We call in the shadow and darkness, the womb, and we sing this very creepy lullaby. Because lullabies are creepy, aren't they?
Not all of them, but usually
They
a
can
baby's about to experience something
Children's stories,
unsafe.
the scariest.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always like a parent dying and like a
they've
fire
gotten much
and murder.
better. I think it was the stories when we were growing up and prior to that, but now they're much more.
You think so?
Yeah.
Less traumatizing?
A lot less traumatizing, a lot more empowering, and a lot more positive than they used to be.
Maybe there's just less trauma on the earth, and
Needs to be.
That's what it is. We'll go with that, sure. So this is a lullaby from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Go sleep, little baby. Go sleep, little baby. Mama's gone away, yeah, daddy's gonna stay. Don't need nobody but the baby. Go sleep, little baby. Go sleep, little baby. Everybody's gone in the cotton and the corn. They leave nobody but the baby. You're sweet little baby. You're a sweet little baby. You're a sweet little baby. You're a sweet little baby. Honey and a rockin', sugar don't stop. Gonna bring a bottle to baby. Don't you weep, pretty 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 baby. She's long gone with red shoes on. Gone need another love, baby. Go sleep, little baby. Go sleep, little baby. Come and lay your bones on alabaster stones and be my ever-loving baby.
She's long gone with her red nose on. She went off to join the greatest show on earth. She left the baby up there in the cradle in the treetop and just put that red nose on and
Ran off with the circus.
that's right.
Well, we're going to feature another song that speaks about October and the veil between the worlds and spirits. One of the epicenters of spiritual activity in America is
Supernatural kind of activity.
is in southern Ohio, West Virginia, where they come together right there near Athens, Ohio. There was a town called Moonville, and it was a coal mining town that popped up from the train that ran through town, would take the coal and bring supplies, and the town was struck by smallpox, and they couldn't get medicine for it or anything because the train would just speed up when it went past. It didn't drop off supplies or food or medicine or anything. It actually drove faster as it went through the town, and so you can imagine the engineers and the railroad workers watched the town slowly fade away as the people called out to it to help them. And the railroad actually returned to burn down the remnants of the town so that they couldn't be held accountable, as legend goes. And we visited this town, this tunnel even, and you can definitely feel spiritual, kinetic energy, and many people have witnessed ghosts and spirits there. And there are a lot of restless souls still waiting to be helped and saved. So we felt like we should write a song and tell the story and be the voices for those and let their lives be recognized and honored. And also to tell the story of what happens when you turn a blind eye to someone else and just simply let them be left alone in their misery and their suffering, rather than trying to help and to alleviate their pain. That's the scariest story. Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil to me. The screaming wheels against the steel will tell of those you killed. October moon eclipsed the dome for the town of Moonville. This tale will tell how blinded eyes can make a ghost of a town. They're so deep within the hills, over a century ago. Hustle, bustle, boom town that survived by mining coal. Hear the murmurs of Main Street, where friends and neighbors came to meet. I know the school bell rings, the kids run to play in Raccoon Creek. Up and down the lane, merchants trading coal for grain on the Moonville train, Moonville train. Swing open the doors to the saloon hall, where railmen and a miner are caught in a brawl. And there's a mean game of poker, chips are sure to fall. Sassy, I'm laughing before last call. It's gossip galore from the general store. Reverend Friendly's trying to save the town. And Lefty Goodfoot, his sweet wife Sadie, strolling and showing off the firstborn baby. All up and down the lane, merchants trading coal for grain on the Moonville train, Moonville train. Then death's in different hands turn the tide of the hourglass sound. Uninvited guests emerge from the fog, casting the sentence, smallpox. The stench of death hung over Moonville as one by one they all fell ill at the edge of town. They waited in vain, desperate for medicine from the train. Standing in the pouring rain, only thing that could ease their pain was the Moonville train, Moonville train. Fearing they'd be cursed by the plague, the engineers fell past full steam ahead, leaving hollow faces behind in the smoke, staring at the tunnel that swallowed their whole. Huddled over the dark town hall, where the deputy dead Reverend Friendly made the call for Rastus Dexter, no real man himself, to signal with his lantern, last cry for help. Remembering all those who'd been slain, as he entered the tunnel, he heard the rumble on the Moonville train, Moonville train, Moonville train. The tunnel filled with light, the town's last hope to survive, with Rastus Dexter died. Within a week there weren't a soul alive. The railroad returned to burn the guilt they had to hide. As quickly as Moonville came about, the flame of life was snuffed out. Now it hosts a community of ghosts, abandoned to their demise by blinded eyes. Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil to me. The screaming wails against us still will tell of those you kill. We'll be right back. This is the time of year where the veil is thinnest between the worlds, where cultures all over the world honor and recognize the spirit realm and those who've gone on into it, and where the invitation is there to communicate and to feel their presence. Perhaps you've had some experience with spirits. You know, energy never dies, and perhaps we get an opportunity either for a brief moment or a short time to communicate with the soul still here. I had a spirit speak to me once, and Renee heard it. And it was just a whisper. It was Amy, and that was it. I have no idea who it was. It felt like a male presence, but I don't know who it was. But I heard it. It was audible. It was real. And you probably maybe had some experiences yourself. And perhaps they've been people that you know, or people who inhabit a place that you're in. But this is a Alice Cooper song that we're going to do, because nothing says Alice Cooper like the accordion. And it's a brilliant song.
Squeeze you to death. Ooh. In a really good way.
But this is really a really brilliant song that he wrote that is perfect for today. Sitting in my room, cold and gray and crying. Someone in my life I fear was at the point of dying. A cold wind blew right up my spine. Was the break of dawn. A little voice from deep inside told me she was gone. Oh, this house is haunted. Oh, that's how I want it to be. Oh, this house is haunted. You could always stay here with me. colors with the buried in the grave. This is where we climb the tower. This is where she fell. And when her young heart stopped beating, I went to hell. Oh, this house is haunted. Oh, that's how I want it to be. Oh, this house is haunted. I sit in my living room, watching my TV. I feel you sit down on the couch, right here next to me. Then I feel your lips touch mine, like they used to do. I'm so happy all alone, being here with you. This house is haunted. Ah, that's how I want it to be. Ah, this house is haunted. You could always stay here with me.
It's the relief after like a creepy song or a creepy story.
Or a scare, right?
Like
Because
a
as soon
scare.
right after you're scared, you laugh.
Yeah, it's like you immediately need to laugh to let out the...
Oh my God, like those
Creepies.
pictures of the people in the haunted houses.
They had a hidden camera in a haunted house. You've got to Google that. It is hilarious. People like
my God.
clinging to each other in random ways.
And the crazy contorted faces of fear and shock. And I love how people are ready to throw their partner under the bus. They're like pushing them forward or like, oh my gosh. Well, it's like that picture thing from a roller coaster where they take that picture
Oh, yeah.
at the perfect moment.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what they have there, which is, again, fear.
Yeah, yeah, catching
Right.
you at the very heightened point, you know, of being most afraid or most excited, and yeah, it's a really, really hilarious.
Vulnerable.
Yeah,
That's really what it is, isn't
yeah.
it?
But the pictures.
Oh my
hilarious.
gosh, so, so funny, so funny. When I get scared, my immediate response is to like curl up in the fetal position and just drop to the floor. That's
What's
my
mine?
defense. I'm like part turtle, I think. Yours is to call on the Lord, Jesus, just like your mother, and then to make the funniest little boxing fist.
Yeah.
And you're like, Jesus! And I don't know if it's a puppet.
Put 'em up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
do
bet
some
it's
real
like-
damage.
Like this
Jesus!
to the whoever is coming after me. Yeah. And sometimes I'll be like completely silent, look at you, and then you'll be like, I scared you. And like today you did that to me.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
but you scared me the other day.
How?
Well, I came back in the house and you were nowhere to be found.
Oh, right.
Except for
There was a note
Yeah,
on your computer screen.
I'm
I
like-
had typed it in Word, and what did it say?
you tell me.
Do you remember?
Yeah. She's not here. Don't look for her. What was the clincher?
She just had to, or something like that, or yeah, something.
Oh,
I was hiding in the bathtub, and she was looking for me everywhere, and I had a little hideout spot, and I just left that note on your screen.
Yeah, but something like, she's not here. Don't look for her. We have her.
And-
And I thought, oh God, the rapture happened, and I just was not ready.
right, and they took time.
Of course, they took Renee and
time.
left me behind. I got left behind.
They did not spell check. That's how rushed they were to get me out of here.
Wow. So I was a little freaked out because I knew she wasn't outside, and this is a pretty small little spot. So
That's how we keep ourselves
it was
entertained.
pretty creepy.
Yeah.
And it actually took me a while. I didn't think of looking in the shower. I
You
looked
looked
in the
everywhere
closets,
else.
under the
It was-
bed.
and I was trying so hard not to giggle. Oh my gosh.
I'm starting to get panicked.
I'm sorry.
I thought you were kidnapped.
That's another whole story.
But there are actual, really, real life, frightening things happening that don't even have to be made up. We don't even need to, they're real life horror movies being lived around us. Like the most horrifying thing, I think, is greed. That monster of greed that can consume people, and then it just consumes everything else around it. Consumes the environment, it consumes all life, it consumes all beings and souls that it can around it. And it's really gotten its grip, this monster, this frightening monster of greed on this planet and on this country. These corporations have their little puppets that do their bidding for them, and everything has to do with just the almighty dollar and power. And like the Bible says, greed is love of money. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, the love of money is the root of all evil.
Right.
Yeah. So it's not really money, it's the love of money and the love of power, which causes people to consume and absorb more than they need.
It's
And
like a
that-
black hole.
Yeah, it
Talk
is.
about darkness and
Right.
consuming the planet. It's like a black hole of selfishness and greed. And so we want to send the song out as an exorcism from that darkness. There is no hell. We can just create it for ourselves when we become just completely consumed with selfishness. So let us cleanse ourselves of that devil. Who's that man with the briefcase in his hand? Fine tailored suit, bloodstain on his white collar. He cut somebody's job to make a few more dollars. And man, oh that man, oh that man, oh that man, oh that man. Who's that woman seen her on TV? Paid quite a fortune from a company. Well, all the work was done by children making pennies. That woman, boy, oh, that woman. money changers out of the temple. It's true love or money's the root of all kinds of evil. We sold our souls for a little bit of dough. Thieves who stole from the starving. What can we do but do what we can? You're faced with a choice, you're either taking a stand, yeah, or shaking the devil's hand, yeah, shaking the devil's hand. Selling smiles to the highest bidding corporation. He thinks the golden rule means the ruling gold. That man, Lord, that man, Lord, that man, Lord, that man, Lord, that man. Who's that man with a Bible in his hand? He's charging an entrance fee to the promised land. Says, blessed are the meek. Drives off in a limousine. That man, Lord, that man, Lord, that man, Lord, that man, Lord, that man. Well, it's time for the haves to meet the have-nots. Give a little of what they got. Let's kick the money changers out of the temple. True love, money's the root of all kinds of evil. We sold our souls for a little bit of dough. The thieves who stole from the starving. What can we do but do what we can? You're faced with a choice. You're either taking a stand or shaking the devil's hand, shaking the devil's hand. Job security. It's more cost effective to poison the air they breathe. That woman, that woman, that woman. Oh, that woman. Who's that man drilling for oil in the sand? Does he have a purpose? Does he have a plan? Ransom that treasure for the highest price can demand. That man. Meet the have-nots. Give a little of what they got. Let's kick the money changers out of the temple. True love of money's the root of all kinds of evil. We sold our souls for a little bit of dough. Thieves who stole from the starving. What can we do? Do what we can. You're faced with a choice. You're either taking a stand or shaking the devil's hand, shaking the devil's hand, shaking the devil's hand.
Ah, it feels good to shake the devil.
Man, we gotta
doesn't
shake that
it?
devil. You know, we gotta shake that devil. We gotta make sure that the ones who have everything are sharing with those of us who have very little. You know, during this pandemic, the billionaires' profits went up like 50%, while the rest of us were struggling, trying to figure out how we were gonna pay our bills and such. And they don't even pay taxes, these guys, and maybe a gal, I don't know. I know that whatever his name is, Elon Musk, just became the first trillionaire.
Wow.
Yeah, talk about greed. And I think we need to make sure, put a little tax on the billionaires to make sure that they're being taxed on their capital gains and the little ways that they skirt around giving back and making sure that we're all pitching in to help each other. So please call your Congress people, make sure that they're supporting and serving the people and not turning into some kind of corporate zombie shill, some kind of scary flesh-eating monster that is consuming all of our resources and not creating a future for future generations and for all of us.
We don't want people to become, especially in places of power, desensitized and no longer in touch with the human condition and the human heart and the human need. We want to inspire compassion in this world. Thank you for being compassionate people, for being so loving and caregiving and selfless with us. It means so, so much. You're evidence of what is possible in this world. Thank you for showing up and showing others how to reach out and give a hand and care about your neighbor and care about this earth. You're the way shower, so thank you for being that. We're going to take a little screen break.
Yes.
And we will be right back. Oh, it would be impossible and extremely negligent to not take a moment in this time when we are in greater awareness of those who've passed on, to not honor all the lives that we've lost to this pandemic. It has reached almost 5 million people worldwide have died, almost 800,000 in this country. And we want to honor tonight by reading a poem. We want to remember them. This is a poem called We Remember Them. It's by Erica Rasmussen, and it's a poem for those who've died of COVID-19. I've been seeing lately a question on the side of garbage boxes. What is made bright by the loss of your light? With every light lost, we howl, how long, O Lord? What is made bright by the loss of these lights? What here in this hell is made bright? We live a story unexplainable on the earth, and it is the truest thing we know, is human life. Precious on the earth as the moonbeam in the night. We never got to break waffles with you, but your eyes tell me that you lived on this earth and did it full, wildly full of questions, of ache, of want and delight, a language I can and I can't understand, and how your fingers made song on the piano, the same when Samuel tells God, I'm listening. We never picked up the phone to hear your hello, but I'm told your love was relentless. You were a mother, sister, friend to the world. You taught children how to be themselves by giving all of you. without having spoken. We are loved through you. We hear the cadence of your adoration and remember you, a light through which we know light. And you, whose name we won't hear, nor your grace or your story, you were a heart beating among 4,979,421 lives, all to be called yourselves beloved on earth. Our family, queer and in love, our family without a place to live. Our family assigned a number and uniformed between cinder blocks. Our family, black and brown, Asian, indigenous, and dying. Our family of taste buds in irrational arguments and what ifs, socks with holes in them, and trauma and quiet epiphany, oil smudge on the shirt sleeve, dirt under pinky nail, one single encounter with a ladybug on the kneecap. For all of it, thank you. For the first breaths and the final breaths and the full lungs and the goodbyes on phone calls and the respirators and the eyes that peek above masks and the hospital that can't take more, to the strangers who aren't strangers, the ache that sediments on our shoulders, cities turned to ghost towns, prayers stuck in our throat, hope that just can't die. In the heart of God, each one, every hair on every head, every star up in that sky. Nothing is made bright by the loss of your light, but nothing, no light, no one is ever really lost. Now you dwell in a secret place, though I cannot see your face and everything. Feel a trace of your life, of your life, of your love, of your life, of your life, of your love. I held you when I had you in my arms. You hold me still even where you are. As the heavens fall, holy stars shining bright with the light of above. As your life, as your life, as your love. Now you're the light on the water glistening. Now you're the melody and I'm always listening. Now you're the bird song calling. Now you're the star in the heavens falling. Now you're wind in the windmill turning. Now you're the embers in the fire still burning. When I close my eyes, you're still by my side, and I'm close to you here in paradise. the ocean till it learns its song. The cocoon holds the butterfly until its wings are strong. Now my soul sings a song of your life, of your love, of your life, of your love. The body is a nest from which the soul flies. I remember the day you were freed into sky, and now I release you and feel you fly with the strength of your life and your love, light up above. Now you're the light on the water glistening. Now you're the melody and I'm always listening. Now you're the birds on the stone calling. Now you're the star in the heavens falling. Now you're the wind and the windmill turning. Now you're the embers and the fire still burning. When I close my eyes, you're still by my side, and I'm closer to you here in paradise. One by one the petals fell, evidence of a flower I've held. Forget-me-nots and remember me well. Oh, how I love you. Now you're in your reverie, wildflower fields and dancing streams. Lay down, sweetheart, in that blanket of green. I'll dream of you. You'll dream of me. I'll dream with you. You'll dream with me. I'll be so true, isn't it? There's evidence of them everywhere. So important that we're aware, and so we honor and remember all those that we've lost. And Amy's going to share a poem.
And this is a part of our assignment of Divine Mint this week. So, Samhain, All Hallows Eve, this time right now, October 31st into November, as the days get shorter and the nights get longer, as the harvest ends and the time of stillness and gathering begins, we want to recognize this time of honoring our ancestors and those who have passed into the great mystery, and recognizing how they are a part of us, how they watch over us. They've become our angels. They've become a part of our own flesh and bone, a part of our everyday decisions, of our dreams and our joys and our sorrows. And we send this prayer and this blessing out to our ancestors. This week, we want you to remember and reflect and recall how your ancestors are still a part of your life now, how they're a part of your smile, how they're a part of how you see the world, how they're a part of your prayer and your dreams. Call in your ancestors, recognize, honor them, and see how they have transformed your life and continue to today. This is the night when the gateway between our world and the spirit world is thinnest. Tonight is a night to call out those who came before. Tonight I honor my ancestors, spirits of my fathers and mothers. I call to you and welcome you to join me for this night. You watch over me always, protecting and guiding me. And tonight I thank you. Thank you. Your blood is in my veins. Your spirit is in my heart. Your memories are in my soul. With the gift of remembrance, I remember all of you. You are dead but never forgotten, and you live on within me and within those who are yet to come.
Isn't that a beautiful thought, that it just keeps going and going and going? We remember, we honor, we're so grateful, and
To the ancestors.
yes, our gratitude.
We'll be right back. So gather around the fires. This is the time of fires and of harvest and of collecting the bounty. And this is the time of year when they would slaughter the animals and prepare to stock up to survive the winter. And when they harvested the animals, they would burn the bones in the fires. And that's where the term bonfires come from.
Oh, wow. You know, you're kind of like a little Wikipedia.
I like that.
Yeah, you are. You're so full of facts tonight. I love it. I'm learning new stuff.
Wikipedia.
So the bonfire is actually where the term bonfire came from.
That's right. And I have wonderful memories of gathering around a bonfire in a graveyard as a child.
Did you really?
Well, just once. My mama, Sweet Annie, took us around Halloween. They had a storytelling festival in a graveyard.
Wow.
And fire, and they served hot cider and chestnuts, and people brought their blankets, and around the fire there was this brilliant older African-American woman who told us ghost stories. And so now I want you to pretend like you're in that graveyard around that bonfire, wrapped in a blanket, sipping hot cider, and hearing a tale from the ancestors.
For months, as I visited Evan as his hospice social worker, he's been praying to die. In his early 90s, he's been dealing with colorectal cancer for more than 4 years, and he's flat tired out. The long days of illness have turned his life into a tedious, meaningless dirge with nothing to look forward to other than its end. He's done, finished. He often talks about killing himself. On this visit, though, his depression seems to have lifted. He's engaged and upbeat, and sudden about-face arouses my suspicions. Has he decided to do it? Is he planning a way out? You feel differently today than on other visits, I say casually. What's going on? He looks at me cryptically. Do you believe in ghosts? Yes. It's not the first time a patient has asked me this. People can have unusual experiences when they reach the end of life, near death or out-of-body experiences, visitations from spiritual beings, messages delivered in dreams, synchronicities or strange behaviors by animals, birds, even insects. There are all kinds of ghosts. I respond seriously. What kind are you talking about? You remember me telling you about the war? He asks. How could I forget? He traced his long-standing depression to his time as a supply officer for a World War II combat hospital. The war, he'd said, had soured him on the idea that anything good could come from humans and left him feeling unsafe and alone. I remember it. There's something I left out, he says, something I can't explain. He goes on to describe one horrific Ice-cold autumn day, casualties were coming in nonstop. He and others scrambled to transport blood-soaked men on stretchers from rail cars to triage, where those with a chance were separated from those who were goners. I'd been hustling all day. By the time the train arrived, my back felt broken and my hands were numb from the cold. He grimaces, swallows hard. What happened when the last train got there? I asked softly. We were hauling one guy and my grip on the stretcher slipped. Tears rolled down his face. When he hit the ground, his intestines oozed out. Steam rose up from them as he died. Evan rubs his hands as though they were still cold. Later that night, I was on my cot crying, couldn't stop crying about that poor guy and all the others I'd seen die. My cot was creaking. I was shaking so hard. I even started getting scared that I was going insane with the pain. I nod, waiting for him to continue. Then I looked up, he says. Saw a guy sitting on the end of my cot. He was wearing a World War I uniform with one of those funny helmets. He was covered in light, like he was glowing in the dark. What was he doing? I ask. Evan starts crying and laughing at the same time. He was looking at me with love. I could feel it. I'd never felt that kind of love before. What was it like to feel that kind of love? I can't put it in words. He pauses. I guess I felt like I was worth something, like all the pain and cruelty wasn't what was real. What was real? Knowing that no matter how screwed up and cruel the world looks, on some level, somehow, we are all loved. We're all connected. This turned out to be the first of several paranormal visits. Each time the specter arrived, he'd wordlessly express love and leave Evan with a sense of peace and calm. After the war, the visits stopped, he says. Years later, I was cleaning out Mom's stuff after she died, and I found an old photograph. It was the same guy. I looked on the back, and Mom had written the words, Uncle Calvin, killed during World War I. 1918. We talk some more, then I ask, what does this have to do with your being in a better mood? He's back, he whispers, staring out the window. He's back. Saw him last night on the front of my bed. He spoke this time. What'd he say? He told me he was here with me. He's gonna help me over the hill when it's my time to go. As I'm formulating more questions, Evan surprises me by asking one of his own. You ever have something strange happen? Something that tells you that no matter how bad it looks, you're connected with something bigger, and it's going to be okay. It's a great story, isn't it? Can visualize all of that.
Mm-hmm. May we all be visited by our ancestors tonight and this week. Reach out, talk to them, dream with them, call them into your being, into your bones. Ask them to guide you and to lift you up and to fill you full of that beautiful unconditional love, because we are a part of something much bigger than we can ever imagine. And are you okay? Yeah.
I had to bring it on for the last song, right? All right, are you going to join us in singing along?
We're going to
Because
dance
it's a
around the
sing-along.
bonfires
Yes,
now.
we are.
So we're going to play Ring Around the Rosie, around the bonfires. The boys, oh, my poor guitar.
Come here, babies. Get down. One more song. They want to sing.
They want to sing.
You gotta
They know.
wait, babies.
They know.
All right, we're going to do this song.
They're ready to dance. Are you ready to dance? We're going to see you in just a moment. We cannot wait. please send us an email, troubadoursofdivinebliss@gmail.com, and we'll send you the link to join the Zoom after party. Put your costume on and let's join together in a virtual bonfire. And for right now, sing along with us, please. We love you all. Happy day between the days. Happy New Year. Happy a world full of spirits and harvest and ancestors, and knowing that you are held by the power of a great affection. We love you so much, and hopefully we'll see you in just a minute at the after party.
See you soon.
If not, we'll see you next Sunday with Bliss.
Mwah.